Coming up next on The Beat Goes On is Jean-Marc de Pierre. Jean-Marc is busy promoting the biggest French cultural event in New Zealand, the French Film Festival. It started in 2012 with the next festival planned for April 2015. Jean-Marc de Pierre. I hope I got that right, Jean-Marc.
Parfait.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Welcome to The Beat Goes On. This is our first ever French special. What a wonderful, wonderful culture, the French and language. What's the population of France now? It's about 60 million, isn't it?
70 now.
70
million, yes.
And then there's about 50 countries throughout the world that can claim that they are French, islands and nations.
About over 200 million actually throughout the world.
Yeah.
French is actually, together with English, the only language that is spoken on all 5 continents as an official language.
French was the language of the diplomat. So there was something about the language which made it a great diplomatic language. What was the essence of it that and still is to a certain degree?
No, but there's a Czech proverb that says a different language is a different vision of the world. So each time you learn a different language, you, together with the language that you learn, you see the world differently. And mostly throughout the 18th and the 19th century in France, that was a whole period whereby there was a lot of philosophers and a lot of ideas. And all the kings and queens in Europe at the court would actually speak French. I think it's a great thing to learn another language than your native language. It's something that I believe personally you have to do in life, because then you're able to see, as I was saying, the world in a different light, and also be able to relate to the people in a different way. And the great thing about the French language is also the access to the French culture. The array of French culture, fashion, food, wine, art, cinema that we're going to talk about. All that is also within the language.
Without us realizing it, there's so many French things that we actually do.
Yes.
That we now think that they're Kiwi or they're English because we've been doing them, but it started in France.
Well, the cafe is very much part of our culture. People socialize, go in the cafe, meet friends, families. It's part of our everyday life in the small villages of France, as well as in Paris or other big cities. Yes.
Jean-Marc, you're here today because you're the head of the, I hope I get it right, the Alliance Française.
Yeah.
It's an organization worldwide, and it's all about promoting the French culture, isn't it?
It is.
And you're the director here in New Zealand?
I'm the director of the Alliance Française in Auckland. This is a network of local non-for-profit associations, 800 in the world, 10 in New Zealand alone.
Wow.
And I'm both the director of the Alliance Française here in Auckland.
And it's to promote the French language and the culture.
Yeah.
And one of the things you do, of course, you're here today to tell us all about the French film industry. Yeah. Now, what an industry that is, isn't it? It's wonderful.
It is. It's one of the most vibrant cultural industry in France. Last year alone, it's over 300 movies that were produced in France.
Now, you have a festival. Tell us about the festival. It's coming up in February.
It's going to be starting in Auckland on the 19th of February, Christchurch on the 26th, and early in March in Wellington. And it's actually another success story, because in 3 years we have seen a 6-fold increase in attendance of this festival, which has now become one of the largest French film festival outside of France, here in New Zealand.
Of all the ideas that you have at Alliance Française, would this be the top one, do you think, having a French?
It is now. It is now the biggest French culture event throughout New Zealand. 11 cities throughout New Zealand for 3 months, and the reason being, as I was saying, cinema is very vibrant in France, and the success of the film festival has shown there's really a potential for attraction. There's an attraction here, I feel, in New Zealand for the French language and culture, hence the success of the festival.
How many movies will you be screening?
About 30 movies.
About 30 movies.
So there's going to be a media launch around the 28th of January to officially released. But in the meantime, before that, you can still go online and go on frenchfilmfestival.co.nz.
Okay, for our viewers, let's talk about that. Just go to www.frenchfilmfestival.co.nz.
Yes.
Wonderful. And there it's going to be everything you want to know about the festival.
Yes.
It's starting in February 2015.
Yeah.
And of course it goes for 3 months. Wonderful.
It does, yes, all throughout the country.
Well, I envy you, Jean-Marc, speaking French. I should do something about it.
Exactly, you can come to the Alliance Française, Gérard.
Yeah, I think I will. Anyway, thanks for coming in today and helping us out with presenting the French view of the world on our French special.
Merci,
we do
Gérard.
appreciate it. So what should I say in French? It should be merci.
Merci, au revoir.
Merci, au revoir. How was that? Was that close?
Perfect.
Thanks, Jean-Marc.